Hello my fabulous friends, it is Jess here from the Scrappy Sisters and thank you for joining me for a Kitaholic Kits design team layout. So for this layout I decided to do a little bit of mixed media in the background. Now we got the stencil on the left in our kit, our mixed media kit this month, but I have the stencil on the right from a different mixed media kit and you can see that they are almost exactly the same. So I decided I would swap it out because you would hardly even notice in terms of the technique and the process, but for me I really wanted the alphabet. It was going to go with my theme and with the story behind my picture just a little bit more than the sentiments that were in the words of the actual stencil that we got in this month's kit. So I have just got out my Montmartre gel medium in matte and I am using my Novu silicone spatula and I am just sort of scraping this on. I'm not being too generous here. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. You can see the amount I'm sort of daubing onto my spatula, which is a reasonable amount, I'm not going to lie. But then I am spreading it across quite a large distance. I really just want to have a bit of a messy look. This dries clear, so it's not going to have a huge effect as it is. Like if I left it without doing any more mixed media on top, it would just sort of add a little bit of texture, a little bit, almost kind of like you're flocking the back of your paper. I think that's the right word. That could be wrong. I apologize. But that concept of when you've got that sort of fluffy paper, it's sort of the look that will go for here, but obviously it won't be fluffy. So I have let that dry. And now I am pulling out it's a concentrated watercolor in a color called Taxi. This was from Steph, actually. She sent it to me as a Christmas gift. And I really just wanted this beautiful yellow because I thought it would tie in really, really well with the beautiful autumn colors in that Bungalow Lane collection from Paige Evans. So I'm just scrap lifting the beautiful Jennifer. She made this gorgeous layout where she used a lot of the leaves from the Bungalow Lane collection and she made this kind of swirly pattern in the background of hers, and I really loved the way that added a little something special to her layout. I of course run with this and change it a little bit and make it a little bit more my own, but the general concept of how this whole layout got started is very, very much inspired by and scrap lifted from the beautiful layout that she created. So you can see now once I've added this watercolor on top of this background that those letters are absolutely popping off the page. So if you left them without any additional mixed media on top, they really are very, very, very subtle in the background and are really quite difficult to see. But as soon as you layer on just a little bit more of anything, of something with a little bit of color, it really makes that pop. Now you can see here that I'm, for want of a better word, kind of ruining the beautiful background that I have created. I'm losing that gorgeous shape I was working with and it's just turned into a bit of a blur. So I decided I'm going to embrace the blur and I'm going to mess up the edges a little bit. Those sharp lines were not working for me and this layout. It needed to be a little bit more organic. So I'm just going to smoosh all of this with the packaging technique. It's literally just a piece of packaging that I have scrunched up into a ball. And I just used it around the edge of that shape, then a few flicks, and it's looking pretty good except for this one section at the bottom here which got kind of ruined. So I'm going to solve that by taking two branding strips. I'm going to put one and then the other of my branding strips down just along the bottom, and what that is doing is, one, it is absolutely covering the really heinously messy section of my mixed media, and it's also sort of anchoring the whole page and drawing your eye from top to bottom, tying in all those colors, and yeah, it just is a really nice look. Instead of doing a full border all the way around, just putting a little sort of quarter border, I guess, down along the bottom. Now I'm popping on that torn piece of red paper there to be the base for my photo, which I've matted on white, and I've popped that up on white foam. And now I'm going to put on my title. My title is super simple. It is called Union Strike. This is a photograph back from 2013 when the teachers in Victoria all went on strike. We had a big rally and we went to Rod Laver Arena and we filled Rod Laver Arena. In my entire career, I've never seen anything like this before. You know, you hear of other companies going on strike, you know, the people walking off the job and all of that kind of thing. I've never in my life experienced anything like this before. And yeah, so I just thought I would document the sheer size of this strike and just what a day it was, basically. So the colours in these leaves worked really, really well because our union colour was red, or is red, which is not uncommon. But obviously that works really, really well with the autumn colours. So tying it in with some of the sentiments in the word phrases pack as well. Obviously in the word phrases pack, they were very much about family and getting together and all of that kind of thing. Kind of works in this situation, but I also didn't want it to be anything that was remotely lovey-dovey, because of course that does not work in this situation. So just going for things that were a little bit more about being together, standing together, fighting together, well, not fighting, but working together, that kind of thing. So that little sentiment that we fit together and let's get together, and then the little remember this, I think, were the only ones that I could really tie in comfortably. So you can see that I am popping up some of my leaves on foam. Oh, I didn't mention, but you can see I also hand stitched along the sort of vein lines of each of the leaves. If the leaves were larger, I did chain stitching. If the leaves were smaller, I did back stitching in a complementary colour that matched the veins. So the veins in the leaves already were a slightly different colour to the leaves themselves, so I tried to colour match that as best I could. Then popping on some gold splatters, and you can see now how well, like, I've covered up so much of that mixed media background that me saying before that, you know, I'd essentially ruined it really didn't matter. It just all ties back together with all those layers on top. It doesn't look ruined at all. So definitely trust the process, definitely give yourself a break, and you know, even if you lay everything out on top of it once it's dry, and just check if it's going to work, because you just never ever know. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have enjoyed my process, and I cannot wait to see you again next time.